Hello, friends. Welcome to Real Talk with Papa Martins. Tonight, on this edition, I'm going to be talking about bitterness. Bitterness. A lot of people are bitter with life. A lot of people are bitter about many things. A lot of people are bitter with themselves. And this bitterness is eating them up. So, tonight on the show, I welcome you to Real Talk with Papa Martins as we talk about bitterness. I will request you to please like this show and make comments and ask questions. And please share it on your platforms. And God bless you for doing that. Bitterness. Bitterness. That is what we are looking at today. Bitterness. Bitterness. This is Real Talk with Papa Martins. The first thing I want you to know about bitterness is bitterness will blow out your candle and leave your soul in darkness. Bitterness will blow out your candle of joy, and leave your soul in darkness. What does bitterness do to anyone? It blows out your candle of joy. It blows out your candle of peace. It blows out your candle of happiness. It blows off your candle of hope. It blows off your candle of encouragement. And it leaves you in the darkness of despair and pain. What is bitterness? Bitterness is taking offense over a hurt of the past that was not forgiven. Many people are bitter for so many different reasons. Some people are bitter, rightly so, while others are bitter, but there's actually no reason for them to be bitter. Some people are bitter because of a perceived offense, which never happened, but that's the way they saw it. So they become bitter. Example of bitterness is a woman who was abandoned by her lover after being made pregnant and the man disappeared. That can lead to bitterness in the life of a woman. A man can be bitter because he was heartbroken by a woman he thought he has spent his life savings on. Those can be the reasons why people are bitter. But whatever the case is, bitterness will never solve the problem you are bitter about. One thing I want you to know about bitterness is the people you are bitter against are most times not even aware you are bitter against them. So it just hurts you and hurts you alone. It's very, very important. Bitterness happens because something was done to you which you considered an offense or a betrayal or a disappointment. You might be backstabbed, you might have been heartbroken by someone. That can lead you to bitterness. And when you become bitter about that, and if it is not resolved, it can lead to so many other problems in your life. I want you to know that a bitter person can never be a happy person. A bitter person can never be a happy person. Whatever you are bitter about today, I would like you to reconsider. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. What does bitterness do to you? Bitterness acts like an acid in your soul and destroy the fabric of your joy. Bitterness kills your hope. That's what bitterness does to you. It kills your hope. A bitter person cannot be happy in life because they always live in the past pain. They always live in their past, the past hurt, the past disappointment. A bitter person cannot move into their next level because they are stuck in the past. Bitterness is more dangerous than cancer because it destroys your destiny and cuts you off from the source of joy and happiness. It incapacitates you. It blinds your eye to see the better opportunities that are around you today. That's what bitterness does to you. You need to get rid of it today. Bitterness is as a result of offense that you refuse to forgive. Bitterness is as a result of offense that you find very difficult to forgive. And once that happens, it eats you up like cancer. It eats you up like an acid will destroy whatever it is contained in. It's important for us to know that bitterness does not help anyone. A bitter woman cannot be happily married. A bitter man cannot be happily married. A bitter person is always angry and aggressive, outburst, impatient, sorrowful. That is what a bitter person is. And you need to watch this. A bitter person cannot be happy. Bitterness deprives you of your joy and happiness. It deprives you of your joy and happiness. Bitterness is more dangerous than a rattlesnake. Bitterness is more dangerous than a rattlesnake. Bitterness is more dangerous than a rattlesnake, and it has destroyed a lot of destiny. Bitterness has destroyed a lot of destiny. There are so many people today who are bitter against themselves because they made a mistake at some point in their lives and they could not forgive themselves because of the mistake they made. They look so unworthy in their own eyes because of a mistake they make. I want you to understand tonight, mistake is common to all men. No one of us is above mistake. It does not matter the wrong you have done. It does not matter how much you messed up. What I want you to know tonight is there is an opportunity for you to get it right. Stop living in the past. Stop crying over spilled milk. There are people that are bitter against somebody or something that happened in their life. In fact, some people are bitter against their own maker. They are bitter against God. Some people think that God has been so unfair to them. Some people think that if God is kind, why does he permit evil according to their own understanding? Some people are bitter against God, so they cannot even serve God because they are so bitter against him. Bitterness will make you go lost in life. It will make it impossible for you to find your destiny path. Bitterness is a dangerous thing in the life of anyone. Get rid of bitterness. Bitterness is a dangerous thing in the life of anyone. Bitterness destroys great destinies. It blinds you to a better future. It makes you to live in perplexity. It makes you to live in hopelessness. Bitterness makes you a slave of your past. Bitterness makes you a slave of your past. Bitterness will destroy your health. It will affect you emotionally. It will affect you physically. It will affect you psychologically. It will affect you spiritually. Bitterness will rob you of sound health. Bitterness will rob you of sleep. That is what bitterness does to you. Bitterness will make you an angry person. It becomes impossible for you to relate with people who can help you. Bitterness will make you irritable, and it will destroy everything you have built in relationship. It's important for us to realize the danger of bitterness. Many have died because of bitterness. Bitterness is born out of unforgiveness. Bitterness is a product of unforgiveness. Bitterness is a product of unforgiveness. If you find it difficult to forgive yourself, or if you find it difficult to forgive someone who has hurt you, or if you find it difficult to forgive some things that has happened around you, you can easily become bitter. You can easily become bitter. This is Real Talk with Papa Martins. When I started, I made you to understand that bitterness will blow out your candle of joy and expose your soul to darkness. Bitterness will blow out your candle of joy and expose your soul to darkness. There is no bitter person who can live a happy life. There is no bitter person who can live a healthy life. There is no bitter person who can enjoy a good romance, because bitterness always keeps you in the past, not in the present. And once bitterness keeps you in the past and does not allow you to see the present, then the future will not be accessible. Bitterness keeps you in the past, does not allow you to assess the present, and will make it impossible for you to see the future. Bitterness keeps you in the past. There are stories of men and women who have been bitter in life until they could not fulfill their mission. How do you deal with bitterness? How do you deal with bitterness? It's not difficult. Accept that something is wrong. Identify why you are bitter. Do you have a genuine reason to be bitter? There are people who are bitter because of a perceived hurt. That offense never happened, but that is the way they see it. All you need to do is to clarify with yourself that what you thought happened never happened, and you will have your peace. If you are bitter against someone, I want you to understand that your bitterness cannot change what happened. The offense that is making you bitter happened because you cannot stop it, and your bitterness cannot change it. Your bitterness cannot reverse what happened. Your bitterness cannot unmake what was done. It cannot undo it. So bitterness is not worth it. Bitterness is not affecting the one you are bitter against. Bitterness is killing you slowly. You are the one suffering from bitterness, not the offender. So you need to understand that bitterness is affecting you, not the one who offended you or the one who hurt you. So identify why you are bitter and deal with it. Identify why you are bitter and deal with it. If you are heartbroken, the individual who heartbroke you already moved on with their life. Make peace with it. It can be difficult. You may need a counselor. You may need to pray to God. You may need to ask for divine intervention. But the truth of the matter is this, brothers and sisters, the people who offended you in the past and you are holding grudge against, they have already moved on with their own life. It's not worth it. Being bitter against such people is keeping you in the past. So you are making yourself a prisoner of people who are no longer in your life. You are making yourself a prisoner of people who are not in your life. And this is very, very important. We need to understand this. Bitterness will destroy you. So if you discover you are holding on to a heart because somebody offended you, then you need to identify the pain and let it go. Identify the pain and let it go. That is what you need to do to get rid of bitterness. You may need to ask the Lord for his help. If you are a Christian, you may need to ask God for his help if you are a Christian. A lot of people today cannot go into new relationships because they are bitter against men or they are bitter against women. According to them, men and women have hurt them at some point in life, so they cannot go into a relationship. So this is important for you to understand. A lot of people cannot move on with their romantic life because they are holding grudges against their exes. These exes have settled down, moving on with their life. You are actually no longer in their memory. Neither are you in their past. They've forgotten about you, but you are still stuck in the past because of bitterness. A lot of people are sick today because their body metabolism have been destroyed by bitterness. There are some diseases that are function of bitterness. We call them psychosomatics. Diseases like migraine, unnecessary body temperature, headaches, ulcers. These are products of bitterness. And can I tell you something? A bitter person will lose their beauty. A bitter person will lose their beauty. Bitter people look older than their age because they are always angry, they are always sorrowful. Bitter people are aggressive and always misunderstood. They misunderstand everyone and everyone misunderstands them. Bitter people are suspicious. They cannot accept love. They are suspicious. Anytime you show them kindness, they suspect you. Anytime you offer help to them, they suspect you because they are bitter. They are still living in the past, thinking of the one who hurt them. So as you offer help to them, they assume you are trying to get at them again, just like they were hurt. Bitterness destroys your hope for the future. You cannot live like that, my friends. You cannot live like that. You need to sit down today and look into your life and ask yourself, since I have been bitter, what have I achieved? Since I have been bitter, what have I achieved? You can make it right tonight. Your joy can be restored again. You can be happy again. You can move on with your life. You can find love again. You can rise from the ashes of that disappointment. You can heal for the heartbroken, from the heartbreak. You can heal from that abandonment. You can recover from those things you lost if you can put bitterness aside. I need you to understand offenses will surely come. People will step on your toes. You will step on people's toes. That is how life operates. But you cannot live in bitterness because it destroys your future. It takes away your hope. It renders you empty. It saps from you the energy for you to move forward. There is no point crying over spilt milk. Your past failures, the heartbreak, the disappointment, the backstabbing, the abandonment, the denial you went through, all this happened. And then what? They can't help you unless you put them behind you and you decide to move forward. Tonight, I want to encourage you, friends, to make a choice to be happy again. Make a choice to be happy again. And it is possible. It begins with a decision. It might be difficult, but it is doable. Make a choice to be happy again. Make a choice that you will rise from the ashes of that failure. Make a choice that you will rise from the ashes of that disappointment. Make a choice that you will rise from the ashes of that heartbreak. Make a choice that you will rise from the ashes of that abandonment. Make a choice today, and joy will be restored unto you. Remember, this is Real Talk with Papa Martins. And tonight, we are talking about matters of your heart. Bitterness is like an acid. It destroys whatever it comes in contact with. Bitterness is like an acid. I said initially, bitterness is more dangerous than a rattlesnake. Bitterness is vicious more than cancer. It steals your joy and leaves you in darkness. It empties you of hope. It empties you of happiness. It denies you the opportunity to appreciate what is around you. It denies you the opportunity to appreciate what is happening now. It makes you to live in the past that you have no control over. Why should you live in the past that is gone and today is being wasted? Think about it. Bitterness will do no man any good. It does no one no good. So tonight I want to leave you with this. Will you rather be bitter, or will you make a choice to be happy? God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. This is Real Talk with Papa Martins. Till I come your way next time, have a peaceful night wherever you are. See you soon.